So I blew up my X6M engine. The way that I did it is going to surprise you, because it wasn't racing, it wasn't doing a top speed run. It was literally going from second gear to third gear at around 5,000 RPM. So that was nowhere near red line as well. So the way that it happened was the engine just went bang, and then you could hear some metallic sound coming from the engine. And straight away I pulled over and turned the car off and had it recovered. The first place I wanted to take it to was back to the tuner to get the tune removed. So when I do get it fixed, I wouldn't have that tune on there no longer, because I think that's what caused it. The tuner was more than happy to take the tune off and be far from everything. So they didn't want to know anything else about it. The second place I wanted to take it to was BMW to get it diagnosed, and they diagnosed that first cylinder by this one, to have bent and scored the sides of the cylinder. So there was another bent piston as well. I think it was on the other side, so don't quote me on that, though. I think I missed that part being done. Here's the new piston, which is on. I'll show you a better view of it in a minute. But here's the side that has already been done, and there's my new piston on the first one. So we had the cylinders redone, and obviously new pistons. They checked for everything else as well to make sure that nothing else had bent or scored, and we didn't have any metallic bits in there. But to be honest, it was just the rods had bent on two pistons. So we had all these seals, everything that was opened up, all seals were changed for those. All one-time use bolts had been changed as well. Here's my turbos, not getting up to much these days. So just sitting there, looking great in the middle of the V. Here's the engine being built back up now, and the place that I took it, it was a friend who works at BMW recommended this garage. Apparently they used to work at BMW, so yeah, the only issue with them I had was they took 4 to 5 months to actually fix my car, and they never told me that they were going to take that long. Obviously it didn't take them that long to fix it, it's just they did it whenever they felt like it, whenever they were not busy. But I wasn't told that, so I'd go in, say like every 2 weeks or so, and the car wouldn't even be started on. And when I asked, they'd say, "Oh, we're waiting on this tool or that tool." But to open an engine, you don't really need any special tools. To build it back up, yes, you do need tools, and we did have a problem with one tool later on, which was the timing tool, which took about 2-3 days to get a hold of, so we borrowed one from another garage. I tried to buy one, but we couldn't find any which was available, so which was the right one and available at that time. So yeah, that's the only issue. And then we had quite a lot of problems afterwards as well. After it was built, it was still leaking. They hadn't connected the cooling fan properly. There was fuel problems, so the fuel pipes, they had damaged on both cylinders, which they were perfectly fine before. So how they took it off or how they put it on, they must have crimped one of the lines, and yeah, it was just leaking loads of petrol, which was a fire hazard, stuff like that all over the car, so can't really get a sense of smell. And to be honest, I was scared to use it after it was ready as well, so that's why I probably didn't notice. Yeah, noticed that, took it back, they sorted that out, took it back, sorted the coolant problem out with the leak. I had some oil leaks still on there, and yeah, they sorted the fuel leak out, which was the most important, because that's a fire hazard right there. Here's everything that was built back up, so everything was back on. And them taking like 5 months, the insurance on this car cost me around £5,000 at that time, so them taking almost 6 months, that's like, if you divide that in half, they already wasted like 2.5 grand worth of insurance of the car just sitting there. So whilst the car was on the ramp still, it was about 2 weeks before it was ready, I thought I'll take the wheels off and get them refurbish them, give them a good clean as well, so when I had the car back, everything will be looking great. And then finally the car was ready, but the issues I talked about hadn't been, I didn't document them, to be honest. But here's the car back on the day that I had it back. So very, very dusty, obviously sitting there for so long. Even the wheels that I cleaned got a bit dirty just sitting there again. So look at the interior, look at all that dust. So I thought best way to make me fall back in love with my car, because obviously after catastrophic failure you lose that passion for that specific car, as it was sitting there for so long. But on the day that I picked it up, I was really glad I had it back. I missed it, but I was a bit scared to use it as well, obviously because of that problem. So I thought I'll give it a wash and remember all the good times and try and forget about all the bad times. This car's been very, very unreliable, to be honest. But this part of it, the engine blowing up, that's my fault for believing a tuner and taking their word for it that it would be safe. But yeah, everything else that had gone wrong with this car has been manufacturer problems. So yeah, it's the M4's never given me this much problems, so it's given me oil leaks and stuff like that, but those you expect on every car, because seals, when they get a bit old, they are not going to be doing their job. But yeah, look at this beast though. It looks so awesome in this color combination. So I gave the inside a nice clean as well, and yeah, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.